Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Mobilizing Your Workforce with Professional Grade Dictation. Just a few housekeeping items I want to go over before we get started. Today's presentation is being recorded, and a link to that recording will be provided to you via email, typically within 24 to 48 hours after the end of the presentation. As you can tell, all attendees have been automatically placed on mute. If you have a question, please feel free to submit it at any time using either the chat or Q&A panels you should see within the right-hand side of your screen within WebEx. We are going to hold those questions until the end of the presentation to actually address them, but as they come up, please feel free to submit them. If for whatever reason we run out of time and don't have a chance to answer your question, we will ensure that somebody gets back to you via email in a timely fashion. Joining me today is Grace Duvall, our Senior Product Marketing Manager. She's going to take you through the bulk of today's presentation. Also joining us is Tom Bain. He's our Senior Sales Engineer, and he's going to take you through the all-important demonstration of the Dragon Anywhere Group solution. With that, I'm going to turn things over to Grace.
Thank you, Amy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to learning about mobilizing your workforce with professional grade dictation. Are you part of an organization where a large part of your workforce is mobile as a vitally important part of your customer or client-focused organization or division? Most likely you are. If customers, clients, or the public come first in your business and collaborating with them in a superior way inspires their loyalty and confidence in your enterprise, many of your employees are out in the field doing their jobs. Interacting with customers or clients often are a key and very critical part of your organization's success. Your organization can be a police force, legal firm, social services organization, insurance company, financial firm, you name it. It can be any business where you'll likely have a lot of mobile professionals. The time and attention that you give to customers or clients reinforces the need to be connected and reachable by your customers, clients, or colleagues. And equally important is documenting and reporting on details or notes about the interactions in a timely way, even if your field personnel are out all day. So just a quick overview of what you'll learn from today's presentation: how an increasingly connected world is affecting you and your business, why paperwork demands are especially challenging for mobile workers and greatly impact both efficiency and productivity, and you'll also gain an understanding of how mobile voice recognition solutions can enable your mobile employees to complete documentation efficiently and effectively. Who can benefit from today's session? It's really any business with a mobile-centric workforce, such as public safety professionals, police departments, attorneys, caseworkers or social workers, insurance agents and adjusters, or financial and wealth management investment advisors. We all know that mobile devices keep us connected, and most of us stay very much connected and productive through these devices every day by writing and sending emails or reading them, conducting research on the web, writing short text or receiving them, voice chats, and of course making and receiving phone calls. Mobile workers are already used to accessing emails or simple notes, whether they're on any mobile device or on the desktop. In fact, 90% of lawyers indicate using a smartphone for job-related tasks while away from the office, and an overwhelming 96% of social workers believe mobile devices will help them do their jobs better. A recent study conducted by Reiki found that 82% of business professionals surveyed say mobile devices help them increase their productivity, while 63% of them said that they use their devices more for work than they did a year ago. There's no doubt we have seen this shift increasingly in the past years as smartphones and other mobile devices became widely used as critical productivity tools. More and more businesses are seeing the trend to embrace mobile devices as an essential part of their corporate strategy. And as a next level, they want to find ways to further increase mobile productivity even more with possibly better ways to use their mobile devices. The key here is that while mobile devices are keeping us connected, there's still an issue. Mobile devices are not good for long-form writing and detailed work. This critical element was ranked by 72% of these business professionals as a top problem with mobile devices in the 2016 Reiki survey. To take a look at this scenario, we start with your mobile workers, whether they are lawyers, police officers, social service workers, inspectors, who are on the road potentially a large part of the day, visiting customers or clients. After their meeting, important details may be captured in a number of ways. Notes related to your health and human services client visit may be scribbled into a notebook. You may be using a costly transcription service to record your legal case notes. Your detectives may be recording details into a recorder or directly recording notes into their phones, which need to be retrieved and transcribed later. Or they may be wasting time driving back to the office or a station to access the necessary systems to formally log these customer and client interactions or file their case notes. Or, in the worst case, there's no time and details are simply forgotten. The result of this process of documenting client interactions by your mobile professionals ends up being a manual, cumbersome, or simply non-productive way until you get back to the office. Your main productivity with these reports or documents are still very much tethered to the office, and often that can be at the end of an already busy day. Your field workers are, however, likely to have downtime in between meetings where it doesn't make sense to drive back to the office, downtime waiting for the client, or downtime when meetings are canceled. And when they're back in the office, your entire mobile workforce may be catching up on paperwork. Your health and human services workers piecing together scribbled notes. Your lawyer now needs to wait 24 hours for the transcription service to return his or her notes back. And even when it's returned, there needs to be a lot of editing and back and forth interaction. Your detectives now need to transcribe the recorded notes into a format that their system can use, either with the help of an administrator or working late to do it themselves. The result of all this documentation workflow can be backlog in paperwork, overtime to catch up on paperwork, missed deadlines in filing paperwork, less recall or incorrect recall of details, which can lead to compliance risks, and this whole workflow ends up being very costly. Now, if you multiply this costly result corporate-wide, clearly your mobile device is not helping with this process. When details are fresh in your mobile worker's mind right after a customer or client interaction, usually when your employee is still out on the road and potentially using some of that downtime, that's the best time that the bulk of documentation and capturing of details need to occur. You would, of course, ask, well, how can you do this? You can't type at 70 words per minute or make edits easily on your little mobile touchscreen keyboard, and even a mobile attachable keyboard is inconvenient. What's out there only allows you to dictate in short bursts of text, not entire documents. And what if you want to continue your work back at the office? How can you quickly extend this workflow and strategy for your entire mobile organization? The solution is professional dictation on your mobile device. Nuance's Dragon Anywhere group is your cloud-based professional dictation solution that will allow you to take your mobile workforce documentation productivity to the next level. Since you are already connected through your smartphone for work and are used to taking parts of your mobile day to send emails or other communications, you already have the right tools and devices. Jump into this next trend and add professional grade dictation to your typical day-to-day on-the-road workflow. You would transform the way mobile workers get documentation and reporting done in the field. You could also customize Dragon Anywhere Group for your business's specific needs and use cases through custom forms or auto text. And you would reduce the cost and complexity of managing Dragon Anywhere Group deployments with Nuance Management Center, a central management console. You would be able to save even more time with increased mobile productivity on your mobile device by writing those detailed reports right away, such as a financial advisor detailing the goals of a client right after their meeting, capturing those important notes right away, and filling out pages of forms without having to go back to your desk, such as a police officer pulling up an intake summary form after an incident and quickly filling out details on their mobile device. Dragon Anywhere Group lets busy professionals work faster and smarter from their iOS or Android devices. Accurately dictate and edit documents of any length by voice with high recognition accuracy that continually adapts to you. Work on full paragraphs, pages, or entire documents simply by talking and see results of your dictation or corrections by voice immediately. You can create custom words for accurate recognition of industry terminology, acronyms, local street names, proper nouns, or personal preferences, and add words to the vocabulary at any time. Also insert frequently used text passages, also called auto text, with a simple voice command, such as insert standard roof inspection. Or quickly insert your signature or standard header in a letter, a bulleted list of items in a quote, a standard clause in a legal document, or custom forms to complete frequently filled information, such as in a customer or client intake form. And these customizations are immediately available on any of your devices or Dragon Group desktop and can be shared corporate-wide. When you're done or want to resume work later, send and manage the dictated text easily. And it's quick to set up and centrally maintain for multiple professionals in your organization with the included Nuance Management Center. With Dragon Anywhere Group and Nuance Management Center, easily mobilize your workforce the way you want to work. Enable a small group of users, a specific department or site, or enable the entire organization, depending on your particular mobile needs. In conjunction with the Dragon Group desktop solutions, you have a choice in enabling your workforce to become productive both in the office as well as away from the office, with all customizations in sync no matter which platform you are on. You benefit from a solution that works the way that you work in your organization and that can be adapted, customized, or integrated into your existing workflow applications. For the most flexibility, you can integrate this cloud-based speech recognition with your own mobile app and platform that works with your existing workflow and backend system, such as a records management system or case management system. Easily add audio management, microphone control, and dictation commands with prepackaged frameworks, or develop more advanced features to suit your use cases. Recognized text is delivered to your apps so you can format and extract it for processing by these backend systems. Simply put, the Dragon Anywhere Group solution gives you all the flexibility to allow you to incorporate mobile documentation productivity for your organization to work on your mobile device the way that you and your organization want to work. And if you've mobilized your entire workforce, you'd want to make sure that the subscriptions, setup, customizations, and maintenance are easy. What if someone leaves or gets hired? How do you manage your license or subscription? If you've invested in enhancing mobile or desktop documentation productivity in your organization, how do you know that it's working and people are using it? All of this can certainly be done manually or user by user, but even if you have an IT department, who has the time or money when there's an easier way? And that's the Nuance User Management Center. The Nuance Management Center is a web-based console that enables central administration at a user, group, site, or organization-wide level. It can centrally manage settings at various levels, track usage, manage licenses and subscriptions, and share and manage customizations, such as words or commands for Dragon Anywhere Group, along with all the Dragon Group desktop products. For those of you who may be already familiar with the Dragon Professional Group or Dragon Legal Group desktop products, the Nuance Management Center is the same console and manages all the Dragon Group products. It is included with Dragon Anywhere Group subscriptions and simply makes mobilizing your entire workforce that much easier. I will now pass control on to Tom, and we will show you a quick demo of Dragon Anywhere.
Thanks, Grace. Let me go ahead and share out my screen, and what you'll be brought to is actually I know it looks like my desktop here, but let me go ahead and make this full screen so you see this. This is actually my iPad Pro screen. Now keep in mind, Dragon Anywhere is going to work on any kind of iOS or Android device, such as like a smartphone, or if you have an iPad mini, whatever it happens to be. Now I just happen to be using an iPad Pro here. I'm going to go ahead and log into Dragon Anywhere to identify myself as a user, and I'll get brought right to an open document here that I can just enable my microphone and begin dictating. Now, before I begin dictating, I do want to explain a couple things here that Grace has already explained a little bit. Now, with Dragon Anywhere Group as part of your mobile documentation workflow, mobile professionals can take detailed notes, complete reports of any length, or even fill out forms, all by voice, directly on their mobile devices in real time. For more accurate dictation and to meet business-specific needs, Dragon Anywhere Group can be customized with words such as industry terms, as well as custom commands to insert frequently used text or fillable forms. Customizations can be shared across an organization or the latest versions of Dragon Group desktop products, so work started in the field can be completed back in at the desktop seamlessly. Imagine you just finished a client visit and need to take notes, send a follow-up email to the client, or create your documentation before you even get back to the office. I'm now going to create a sample deposition letter that shows how this might be used by a legal professional, but keep in mind this could just as easily be customer notes, visitation notes, a narrative, or a crime scene report. Throughout this deposition letter, you're going to see me use auto text as examples of custom commands to insert frequently used text. So I'm going to go ahead and enable my microphone that you see at the bottom here. I'll begin commanding and dictating. Go to title. Anderson. Next field. Stephen Jones. May 19th, 2016, new paragraph. Anderson. Microphone off. You can see a few examples of auto text that I use to set up the first part of my letter. I say Anderson to enter my subject line and Stephen Jones to automatically insert information about Stephen Jones. Now I'll dictate the rest of my letter. Dear Stephen, new paragraph. Please prepare for the Anderson deposition by reviewing some Commerce Clause cases, as well as preemption cases, period. Within that preemption context, consider home rule powers plus related policy issues, period. New paragraph. You may want to argue that the defendant municipality has exceeded its powers in an area of statewide concern, period. Signature. I completed my document with another example of an auto text to insert my signature at the end. Auto texts like these can be shared across an organization or can be created directly within the app on the fly. For example, I simply go to my auto texts, and you'll see that I have quite a few here, but if I want to add one, I click the plus sign, I give it a name of what I want to say, for example, signature, and then I write whatever I want or paste in whatever content I want Dragon to enter for me automatically. The same thing can be done with vocabulary. Right? Dragon Anywhere Group lets you add words to your vocabulary directly in the application right through this Add Words screen here. I can simply click the plus sign, and I'll be provided with a written form and a spoken form. Written form is what you want Dragon to type for you, and spoken form is if you speak that word differently. For example here, you might have an acronym such as IEEE, but instead of having to say IEEE, I can create a spoken form of IEEE that rolls off the tongue a little bit better. Now, Dragon Anywhere also lets you go back and edit your voice. So I'm going to go back to my dictation, or edit your dictation, all by using your voice, and move the cursor around to add, edit, format, or remove text. Select Anderson. Hold that. Insert after policy issues, period. Also remember that when a federal statute does not directly overcome state law, a federal administrative agency may do so by regulation, period. Microphone off. My document is now ready to be saved and shared, and Dragon Anywhere Group has many share options to email the document, or email it as text or as an attachment, share with another application, or save to cloud storage like Dropbox. I'm going to email my document. Now, before I do that, though, I do want to show you these share document options where I can use AirDrop to provide this to another device through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, or I can share through mail, notes, or a lot of the other applications, or even cloud storage device that I may have set up. Now, like as I mentioned here, I'm going to choose to send this as an email as text. Email document. And this uses the native mail application on your device to send this as an email. Again, if I were to send this as an attachment instead, it wouldn't paste the text into my document. Instead, it would send it as an attachment instead that I would open up as a Word document or a rich text or a plain text. So in this case, I'm just going to send it to myself. If I wanted to work on this back at my office, or send it to an assistant, or wherever my end destination, or my client, or wherever my end destination may be. You can also transfer the text to the clipboard to be pasted into another application window. Transfer text. And this is basically to copy the text to the clipboard. And I'm going to actually use my split view here to bring up my notepad and paste the text. But keep in mind that the notepad could just as easily be any other app on the mobile device, such as billing software, a mobile CAD or RMS, a CRM or a SAGWIS system, what have you. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my split screen. And again, this doesn't have to be the notepad. It could be really anywhere you want the text to go. And I'm going to paste the text right within there. So whether you're a legal professional, like the example here, or if you're an officer, a detective, a caseworker, a financial advisor, or any other type of professional that works in the field, you can create your documentation on the go with your voice quickly and easily. Put your voice to work anytime, anywhere. Thanks, Grace.
Thanks, Tom. So a quick summary of our previous workflow now using Dragon Anywhere. Your mobile workers are doing their jobs and out visiting clients, and they may be on the road all day, like before. Now, after each meeting, when they are anywhere, such as in the car while it is parked, or anywhere else, they can dictate and edit notes or fill detailed intake forms using their mobile devices. With Dragon Anywhere Group, there are many ways to help dictate quickly, as shown in the demo. Use or add auto text or add a proper noun, such as industry terminology, names, or street names, to be written your way, just by saying add that to vocabulary. And at any time after dictation is done, even if the work is not quite complete, copy the dictated text to an app or save the file to cloud storage, and customizations will be automatically saved in each person's account. Back at the office or anywhere else that you go, continue documentation work later on any device using these available customizations. And for all employees, you can enable group, site, or organization-wide sharing of customizations and manage your entire mobile workforce. The result of this mobile workflow is more efficient use of mobile time, increased documentation throughput, better details and accuracy that result in less compliance risks, more time for clients or your core business tasks, better client service, allowing you to stay competitive, and improve your bottom line. Now, if you multiply this result corporate-wide, you can see its benefits for your entire organization. The entire suite of Dragon Group products as part of a full enterprise solution is specifically designed to make it easy to deploy, manage, and share customizations for an entire organization or groups of users, whether for the mobile workforce, desktop users, or both. It addresses the documentation overload problem and gives your workforce more time to focus on clients or drive your core business. With the availability of Dragon Anywhere Group as part of your critical mobile documentation strategy, you will be enabling documentation productivity for your mobile workforce, and you and your employees can benefit greatly by being more efficient while out in the field. Since talking is 3 times faster than typing, the outcome is that you can complete your paperwork faster and more accurately. You and your colleagues will be able to spend even more time to focus on customers or clients. To find out more, we welcome you to come and talk to us and learn more about Dragon Anywhere Group and how it can help you to jump into this next level of mobile workforce productivity. We would like to talk to you to learn more about your organization's goals and challenges, understand your mobile workflow, review how you currently handle documentation or transcription, discuss how Dragon Solutions can support your efforts, and propose implementation options. We will partner together to help you move ahead in using mobile technology, stay ahead of your paperwork and competition, and ultimately improve your core business or bottom line. Thank you very much for listening to this webinar. I will now pass you back for some closing words.
Great, thank you so much, Grace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, that's going to end the formal portion of our presentation. And I welcome you to submit any questions that you may have through either the Q&A or chat panels that you should see within WebEx on the right-hand side of your screen. If for whatever reason we don't get a chance to address your question live, we will certainly have a full transcript of everything submitted, and we can submit it, follow up with you privately in a separate email. In addition, for those of you that joined us late, today's presentation was recorded, and a link to that recording will be provided to you via email, typically within 24 to 48 hours after the end of the presentation. Okay, so let me just kind of go through the questions here and see what we might have. Okay, so here's a great question. I'll open it up to the team. Can I use Dragon Anywhere with my other mobile apps? Mark, do you want to take that?
Sure, Amy. So Dragon Anywhere is its own application that runs on iOS or Android. So we support the features that Tom showed you today: dictation, navigation, correction, formatting, command and control, all within the Dragon Anywhere app. And then we allow you to easily transfer that text over to another app, either through the copy and paste, which is the transfer text feature, or by routing your dictated content to a cloud service like Dropbox or Evernote, iCloud, or by sending it as an email.
Great. I see a question here as well. Can I use the Dragon app for transcribing pre-recorded audio or video?
I'll take that one also, I guess. No, the app is centered on document creation through dictation, so it doesn't have a sort of what we call a store and forward capability, or recording an audio file and then sending that somewhere or having that transcribed later. Video, there are features in the app and commands in the app to take a photo or to insert a photo that you have in your photos library on your device, but there's not a video capture capability today.
Great, thanks, Mark. I think a follow-up will just indicate for those of you that may not have Dragon already, or have not seen it in the past, we do have a desktop version of our software as well. We have a Windows-based application and then a separate application for Mac platform. That desktop version does allow you to do transcriptions of pre-recorded audio. It is a speaker-dependent software, so a majority of the audio does need to be, it obviously needs to be something that you personally are pre-recording. So just to point that out. I do see a couple questions here in relation to trial periods or cost of the application. So we do actually have a couple of different options. What we've announced here today happens to be our Dragon Anywhere group solution. This is for those organizations or entities that are looking to mobilize their workforce, a rather large workforce. It is a yearly subscription based on the number of users that you're looking to employ. If you are a single entity or a single user, there is an individual application of it as well, that we do offer a 7-day free trial. If you're interested, you can visit our website and check that out for more information. Okay. With the Dragon Anywhere group application, is there a way to tie it to my desktop version of Dragon?
Yes. So through the Nuance Management Center that Grace showed us in the workflow, the custom words and auto text that are defined either for a user or a department or an entire organization are stored in that cloud-based server, the Nuance Management Center. And the client applications, which are running on the iOS or Android device, have connectivity to that cloud server. So they all have access to that central repository of custom words or auto text commands. So that includes the desktop versions of Dragon Anywhere. They also have the capability to connect into that server and access that repository. So the custom words or auto texts that are defined on that server are then available to all the clients, whether you happen to be dictating on your iPhone or your desktop computer or your Mac PC.
Great, and then I guess a follow-up question to that, Mark, since this is a separate application, I am not required to have the desktop version, correct?
That's correct.
Great, thank you. All right, let's see. Let me just go back here to make sure we have anything else here. So, Mark, I know you just explained this. Can you just maybe expand upon it? There is somebody who is asking, does the desktop version's shortcuts sync or copy with the mobile version, or do you have to create them on both places?
So I think the question is about synchronization of the documents, okay. Although it also mentions shortcuts. So let me try to answer the question, and then we'll see if we hit the target or not here. So the documents that you create, whether they're created on a desktop version of Dragon or on the mobile device, those don't sync automatically across your devices. You can store those documents in a cloud service, Dropbox, Evernote, iCloud, which would then be accessible to all of your devices. So I typically use Dropbox. So I may dictate, start a document on my phone while I'm out in the field, and I save that draft to Dropbox. And then later, I'm in the office and I want to continue working on that document. I open it from my Dropbox folder, and then I can continue dictating and formatting there, and vice versa. So there's no direct synchronization of documents across devices, but you can leverage an existing cloud service to do that. The custom words and auto text that an end user creates, or a site administrator or a value-added reseller might create in the Nuance Management Center are centrally stored, and those do sync across the mobile devices and the desktop versions of Dragon.
Great, thank you. Mark or Tom, maybe one of you can address this as well. So I know we mentioned, obviously, in the demo, and Mark, you just mentioned it here as part of the synchronization, the phrase auto text. That might be something new to folks that have never used Dragon or don't have the latest version of Dragon. Can you just expand upon what an auto text actually means?
Sure. For people who are familiar with the desktop versions of Dragon, there is a feature there called text and graphics commands, which has been around for many versions. And auto text is sort of a variant of that feature, If you worked with some other products, you may have heard them called normals or structured text commands. And the concept for all of those is, as Tom showed us in the demo, you have some boilerplate content that you want to generate, such as a signature block, a header for a letter. It could be a form that you want to fill out, assessment notes, recommended follow-up steps, these things that we often need to produce repeatedly in the structured documents we're creating. So having to dictate that boilerplate content over and over is tedious and is a detriment to productivity. So the auto text capability allows you to define that boilerplate content one time. You can create them on your mobile device in the Dragon Anywhere app. You could also create them on the desktop version of Dragon, or an administrator could access the Nuance Management Center through its web interface and create them there. And once that auto text is created, it's available to all the users that have access to Nuance Management Center. Those auto texts synchronize down to the desktop and mobile apps. And then rather than saying the boilerplate content over and over again, you can say a single utterance. As Tom showed us in the demo, you can just say, insert signature or insert closing or add assessment comments, and that boilerplate content is inserted into the document automatically.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate you going a little bit in depth on that. Okay, I do see we have definitely some questions here in regards to the free trials and pricing of the mobile package. Again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, this presentation was geared towards our Dragon Anywhere group solution, which definitely is geared more towards small businesses or larger entities that are looking to mobilize their entire workforce. This is the application that there is volume licensing available for it. There is the central management of your licenses within the Nuance Management Center that you saw within the presentation that Grace submitted. For those of you that are single users, or you're a consultant, or self-employed, we do have an individual product available as well. Again, this is all of it is subscription-based. There is a free trial for that individual product available. I highly encourage you to take a look at our website for more details. It is a 7-day free trial, and then from there we do offer a number of levels of subscription that might benefit you. But again, this webinar is geared towards those SMBs or larger organizations that are looking to equip a number of employees or users and want to be able to do that in a very centralized fashion. So hopefully that kind of gave you a little bit of background on what we have available for you. All right, I will just give it a minute to see if there are any additional questions that come over. But I do want to thank everyone for taking time out of what we know is a very short day for everybody, packed day for everybody. And hopefully this gave you some insight into the cloud-based professional dictation solution that we now have available to our customers. All right, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to end today's presentation. Thank you very much.